Do-Rag Wisdom here, folks, and welcome to Y2K 18.03.28 with 223 days left until the midterms. Baby bunglers, that's me included, should lead and not bleed. Lead and not bleed. I am gratified that I did not grow into a youth-hating old person. Yes, I'm afraid to die. Sometimes I lose a lot of sleep at night. But no, I'm not jealous of this era's young people. In fact, I am very, very sorry for them. I am sorry for what my tune in, turn on, and drop out generation, my baby bunglers, have done to them. If the human race is ever to evolve from naked apeism, they must step off their malignant merry-go-round. Stop doing the same thing over and over and over and over and expecting the same results. And come to a point where we really care about our young people instead of paying them lip service, or worse, lamenting about how they behave. If the young people today are lacking in anything, it is because of we baby bunglers, and I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying it until I breathe my last freaking breath. We have failed in our leadership. We shitted out more life only to leave it abandoned and dealing with the same malignant traditions our parents had to deal with, and the parents before that, and the parents before that, way back to the beginning of this cursed human species. Hatred, greed, environmental pollution, racism, anti-Semitism, misogyny, bullying, ignorance, fear, exploitation, homophobia, and more. I am gratified that I did not grow into a youth-hating, a young people-hating old person. Get out of here, you whippersnapper! I'm gonna hurt on you. I believe that the purpose of the old is to school the young. And they must do this, we must do this in a firm, fair, and friendly way. Like my great teacher, Mr. Anderson, told me from high school. We must show the young that we respect them and are prepared to offer advice that will be vital for them so that they and theirs can enjoy a more harmonious future. If we can learn to live together with respect on this, our tiny, beautiful planet, maybe one day we will deserve that history-changing first contact visit from friendly extraterrestrials. But right now, folks, I'm afraid we're more deserving of the other kind. You know, the kind that eat your faces and your brain, you know. They want to kill everybody, take over our planet and live here. In the meantime, here is some advice to start with. And if you continue to watch this space, I think that I will have more. So this is really only the beginning, because I want to be a little more positive as the days go on. I know I have enough things to say about the creep we have in our lives now, but I want to be a real help. I mean, really, the inspiring young people who went out and marched for their lives. I was a teacher, and I want to make sure to still be there for them, to help them, to guide them. I want them to have a better future. Invest funds in human advancement, in science, in the arts, in business, in history, and in all manner of social sciences. Invest in education, social welfare, and health. Have Medicare for all. Make sure we rehabilitate in our prisons instead of agitating them. Make sure higher education is free to all who want it. Build with the earth, not against it. See how the hobbits and the elves and the dwarves lived in The Lord of the Rings. They lived with the planet, not against it like the Dark Lord and like evil wizard Suraman did. Just if you ever have a chance to read those books or go to those movies, see how the difference in the way the two forces dealt with our beleaguered planet. Make sure that anyone who wants to bring new life into this world gets a license. Only those who are unselfish and only those who are extremely optimistic should have children. If you need a license to drive, if you need a license to get married, you damn well should have a license before you decide to have a child. Or else, inflict the rest of us with things like Adolf Hitler's or Donald Bertha Bastard Trump's. Make sure to respect the laws of our democratic republic, without forgetting that we have a long way before we evolve into a pure multi-party democracy. Create a fund to help the March for Our Lives young people so that they will be able to continue getting into the face of the ruling fascist maggots. Make sure there is no dark money in our elections. Make sure that gerrymandering to favor one party over another is not allowed. Make sure that we have freedom from religion without denying those who want to practice it their freedom as well, as long as they don't try to push their beliefs on the rest of us. Make sure that our highest court is completely impartial. Right now, folks, we do not have an impartial Supreme Court. Make sure that voting is as easy as possible. And in fact, young people, demand that voting day be a national holiday, or find out why not. This discussion will be continued because I really want to take my place as an advisor to young people, with the understanding that no one is obligated to follow my advice, since if you are one of those who judge success by how much money one has, my advice could end up being a fart in a hurricane. But at least I want it to be a smelly one, rich in long-lasting odor. P.S. In the old days, the ruling creeps blamed violent comic books for causing juvenile delinquencies. This was way back in the 1950s. And I'll talk about this another time with you. It's amazing. A whole line of these. You wouldn't believe how great these comics were. Tales from the Crypt, The Vault of Horror, The Haunt of Fear, Weird Science, Weird Fantasy, Two-Fisted Tales. These comics actually, not only were they, the art was phenomenal, but of course the writing was also something great. These were the EC comics, and what's left of the EC comics is Mad Magazine, which I think now is not even published with print, it's all online. And they said that comics cause violence. Today they want to blame violent video games for our gun violence. Alright, let me suggest this to you. Demand the end to so-called reality TV programming. I personally believe that this genre has contributed to dangerous growing stupidity in our country, to the point that we've placed a dangerous and traitorous reality show creep in our White House, and at the very least can get us into another war, or at most could blow our lives and our planet to nuclear ashes. In the meantime, bunglers, stop bleeding your old guts out, your dying old guts, and start leading the next generations to get the fuck off the malignant merry-go-round already!